Hello paddlers! Today I'm in Racine, Wisconsin at the Wind Point Lighthouse. The Wind Point Lighthouse is the tallest and the oldest operating lighthouse on Lake Michigan. And until I got here about 5 minutes ago, I had no idea that you can climb up to the top. So that's going to be my first order of business, and then I'm going to get out onto Lake Michigan. I thought I was going to launch in Racine on the Root River and then just paddle out to Lake Michigan, but the wind is so light today out of the south-southeast that I'm not gonna pass the opportunity to just go for it and just launch right on Lake Michigan. But first, let's climb the lighthouse. There also seems to be some kind of antique car club type deal going on here.
That process we've gone through a lot.
Requirement as a lighthouse keeper, since you may deal with emergencies?
It's not. No, there is the board when we got floated in here. We applied like normal. We actually saw an ad on Facebook. Is how we applied to this job. My wife and I were actually working together, and we just got sick of our job to apply to be lighthouse keepers to cut out.
I was very fortunate to get in on one of the private tours of the Wind Point Lighthouse, and it was extremely cool. But I did spend some time there, and the winds picked up a little bit, so slight change of plans. I didn't launch right on Lake Michigan. Well, technically I did launch right on Lake Michigan, but I'm at the harbor right now in downtown Racine, right by the Root River. The lighthouse is, 2.5 miles north on the shore of Lake Michigan from here. And I didn't want to quite risk doing a bunch of miles on Lake Michigan if the winds were going to shift or change or anything while I was out here. My main thing was just to see the lighthouse and go up the river a little bit. So I'm going to just noodle around here in the harbor, but probably stay within the breakwall and explore Racine from the Root River. So let's go. I love paddles like these on these towns on Lake Michigan that start out really urban but provide a lot of diversity. I've only been on the Root River for maybe a mile and a quarter, and already it's turned into this. I just saw a great blue heron, and there might be a little bit more industry up ahead. I've never stepped foot in Racine, Wisconsin, so it's kind of cool that, honestly, I didn't even really study a map. I was just traveling between the Chicago area and the Milwaukee area today, and I'm like, never been to Racine. Let's see what that's all about. Knew there was a river here, but that's about all. So I may see a little bit more industry. It may get more natural. I don't know, but let's find out. weather forecast. That's what it is, sure. I don't know what that building was, but whatever it was, it is not anymore. I'm noticing a lot of the buildings on the south side of the river are very unkempt, if not abandoned. Again, south bank of the Root River. I don't know what kind of structure that is, but I'm intrigued. I need to look that up. When I was in the Wind Point neighborhood of Racine, I thought, wow, Racine is extremely affluent. But then I drove from Wind Point to the harbor, and my opinion of Racine changed about 180 degrees. So obviously a city of 77,000, you're going to have some economic diversity, but boy, Racine, Wisconsin, you sure cover the full ends of the spectrum. That cool footbridge we just passed under, and that's two sides of the Washington Park Golf Course here in Racine. And this is Cedar Bend Park. Current goes on the Root River, I'm about 4 miles from the lake at this point, and I'm just starting to detect that I'm going against the current. Time for a snack. Ever try voodoo pretzels? Amazing. The voodoo pretzels are going to give you like Cheeto fingers. If only there was a place I could wash off my hands. Not here. Not here. I'll live with my spicy fingers. I have no idea. Oh shoot, now you can't see it very well. I have no idea what that gorgeous castle-like architecture is. Might be part of that church right over there. I don't know. This is worth investigating. Google Maps tells me that it's Holy Communion Lutheran Church. There's two distinct, separate, both very large buildings. It's like 3 or 4 stories tall. It's absolutely stunning. Hooks aren't even rusty. I'm about a mile from the lake here at this point, and it looks like the city at one time had a beautiful river walk over here. Not the case anymore. I don't know why this is in such horrible disrepair, but It looks like it was really nice once, and now it looks like absolute shit. I'm guessing there used to be boat slips on the south shore of the river with all this conduit for electrical and, I don't know, maybe water. This artist needs to take some lessons from the folks in Elgin, Illinois. Come on, you can do better than that. Another cool old church over there. Back on Lake Michigan. Racine, Wisconsin is the home of S.C. Johnson Corporation. Since 1937, the headquarters was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, so there's that, and there's a couple of other Frank Lloyd Wright buildings in town. While you're visiting Racine, there's also a pretty darn decent zoo that you could visit here, and I don't mean just like little small town, here's a random lynx and a bobcat kind of zoo. I mean like a full-fledged penguins, giraffes, and a big cat kind of zoo. So if I had more time, I might check those things out, but I'm arriving at the launch, and voodoo pretzels are not a full meal, and I need to go feed myself some dinner. It's a school night, so I can't be out here as late as I would like to be, and I'm really tired. It was an absolutely picture perfect, gorgeous day for mid-September here in southern Wisconsin, and I'm looking forward to reliving this all over again months from now when I finally get around to editing this. Thanks for coming with me on my adventure in Racine, Wisconsin today. If you haven't yet, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my next adventures. I'll see you next time.